Welcome to PillowTaleTime, where every quiet moment hides a story, and every story reveals a truth waiting to be seen. Tonight's journey begins with a photograph, a name, and a face that shouldn't have been there. This is, I found myself in a missing person poster. It was a quiet Tuesday afternoon when I saw it. The wind was pushing dry leaves across Maple Street. The sky was gray but calm, the kind of afternoon where everything feels ordinary. I was waiting at the bus stop when something bright caught my eye, a yellow paper taped to a streetlight pole. I almost ignored it, almost. But then I saw the face, my face, same dark hair, same faint scar on the eyebrow, same eyes. The caption read, "Missing. Have you seen this person?" My name was printed underneath, except the age was wrong. It said 17, I was 15, I stared at the date below, reported missing. 2 years ago, my hands felt cold. "I'm right here," I whispered. I stepped closer. The photo wasn't recent, the clothes were different, the expression was different. That version of me looked scared, and behind him, barely visible, was a building I didn't recognize. I took out my phone to take a picture of the poster, but when I lifted my camera, the wind ripped it off the pole, the paper flew into the street, a car passed over it, and just like that, it was gone. That night, I couldn't sleep. There were small things I never questioned before, like why I don't remember much from when I was 12, or why my parents never talk about that year, or why sometimes I dream about hallways I've never walked through, long white hallways, with flickering lights, and a door marked 17. The next morning, I asked my mom, "Have I ever been missing?" She froze, just for half a second, then she smiled too quickly. "Of course not." Too quick, her eyes didn't match her smile, and that's when I realized something worse than fear. Someone was hiding something. After school, I went to the public library. If that poster was real, it had to be recorded somewhere. I searched old local news archives, and there it was, a headline from 2 years ago, "Teen disappears under mysterious circumstances." The photo, my face, but the name was slightly different. Instead of Ethan Gray, it said Ethan Gray, one letter difference. The article said I disappeared after leaving school early. Security cameras caught me walking toward an old abandoned train station, and then nothing, no footage of me leaving, no trace. Search teams looked for weeks, but here I was, alive, breathing, living like nothing happened. The next day, I skipped school. I needed to see it. The abandoned station was outside town, hidden behind overgrown trees. It felt strangely familiar, like walking into a memory that didn't belong to me. Inside, dust covered everything, except footprints, recent ones, my size. Deep inside the station was a small control room, old monitors, broken chairs, and a camera still mounted on the wall. I brushed dust off a desk, and found a USB drive. It had one label, Subject 17, my heart pounded. I plugged it into my laptop when I got home, the screen flickered, and then, I saw myself. The footage showed me sitting in a room, same face, same voice, but older. He looked directly at the camera and said, "If you're watching this, it means they reset you again." My breathing stopped. They're trying to erase something. Every time you get close to remembering, they change the timeline. The screen glitched. They can't erase everything. That's why the poster keeps appearing. Poster, again, the older version of me continued, "You were part of a memory experiment. They were testing whether memories define identity." The video distorted again. If you're reading this, you already know something feels wrong. The recording ended. That night, I asked my parents again. This time, I told them about the video. The silence lasted too long. My dad finally said, "You weren't supposed to find that." 2 years ago, I volunteered for a research study. They promised improved memory and focus. Something went wrong, my memories fractured. They rebuilt them, adjusted timelines, created a stable version. Me. But why the poster? I asked. My mom looked at me sadly. You made it. What? Every time they reset you, you leave clues. You print the posters. You hide recordings. You try to wake yourself up. So what happens now? I whispered. Dad answered quietly, they can reset you again. Or, you can live with the truth. I looked at my reflection in the dark window. Maybe I wasn't the original, maybe I was version 3, or 5, or 17, but I was still me, and maybe identity isn't about memory, maybe it's about choice. The next morning, I walked past the same streetlight pole. Another poster was there, same photo, but this time, the word missing was crossed out. Underneath, in new handwriting, found. I smiled, because even if pieces of me were lost, I had found myself again. Sometimes, the scariest mystery isn't who's missing, it's who we become when we forget. But even when memories fade, the heart remembers who we are. Identity is not just memory, it is the choices we make when the truth finds us. If tonight's story made you think, or kept you gently awake, please like this video, and subscribe to PillowTaleTime for more calm, cinematic stories every week. Rest well.